Hello and welcome to World News. I'm Colleen McEdwards at CNN Centre. Police in Britain say they're almost certain that the two bodies found on Saturday are those of the two girls who have been missing since August 4th.
In the quiet town of Soham, Cambridge, two 10-year-old girls, Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman, missing on the afternoon of August 4th, 2002. The peaceful atmosphere of this rural market town would soon be shattered.
Ian Huntley didn't seem keen to talk, which slightly surprised me because normally I've found people are. Children are missing. People that...
Holly and Jessica, best friends, had spent the day together, enjoying the summer weather.
Ian Huntley jumped in straight away and he answered the question. And he said that he thought Holly would probably get in the car and quietly go.
They played games, wore matching Manchester United football shirts, and captured happy memories with a photo before their lives took a tragic turn. After a relaxing afternoon, they left Holly's house, walking down familiar streets. The girls were seen on CCTV heading toward a local sports center, likely to buy sweets. As the hours passed, their families grew concerned when they didn't return. The evening quickly turned to panic, and by 10 p.m., Holly and Jessica were reported missing. The disappearance was out of character for the girls, who were known for being bright, well-balanced, and loved by all who knew them. The town's tranquility was replaced by fear and confusion as the community came together in search of the missing friends. What followed would shock not just Soham, but the entire nation. Community search. As soon as Holly and Jessica were reported missing, the small town of Soham sprang into action. The search effort was immediate, with police from 3 different forces joining forces with hundreds of local volunteers. The community, deeply shaken by the girls' disappearance, began combing the town, its streets, parks, and surrounding areas, desperately trying to find any sign of them. The search was intense and thorough. People from all corners of the town and beyond joined the hunt, with neighbors, schoolmates, and strangers alike walking the streets, looking under bridges, and searching wooded areas. The girls' families, distraught but determined, urged anyone with information to come forward. Police set up their base of operations at the girls' primary school, where they meticulously combed through every possible lead. The media coverage grew, with Holly and Jessica's faces appearing on every news outlet. The image of them in their Manchester United shirts, taken just hours before they went missing, became symbolic of the growing tragedy. The investigation was now one of the largest manhunts in British history, with the hope that the girls would be found safe slowly fading with each passing day. Key witnesses. As the investigation into Holly and Jessica's disappearance unfolded, one person quickly became a key figure in the search: Ian Huntley, the caretaker at Soham Village College. Huntley was one of the last people known to have seen the girls before they vanished. He claimed to have spoken with Holly and Jessica in a friendly, casual conversation near the village college just before they disappeared. In his interviews with the media, Huntley described the girls as happy and cheerful, seemingly no different from any other day. He said they were just 2 typical, playful kids enjoying their summer. Huntley's statements seemed genuine at first, and he appeared to be a concerned member of the community, offering help in the search and talking to the press about the girls' disappearance. However, despite his cooperation with the media and authorities, suspicion began to build around him. His involvement in the case grew more suspicious as investigators began to scrutinize his past and his behavior, particularly his unusual desire to stay in the spotlight. Huntley's role as one of the last people to interact with the girls raised red flags, setting the stage for a deeper investigation into his actions and background. Investigation progress. As the investigation continued, police were under mounting pressure to find the missing girls. The case quickly gained national attention, and officers worked tirelessly to follow every lead. The search area expanded, and detectives began retracing Holly and Jessica's last known movements, focusing on their path toward Soham Village College. CCTV footage showed them walking toward a local sports center, but after that, there was a disturbing gap in sightings. Authorities questioned hundreds of local residents, hoping someone had seen something out of the ordinary. The case took a dark turn when forensic analysis of Jessica's phone revealed that it had been manually turned off around 6:37 p.m., just after the girls were last seen near Huntley's house. This new information pointed the investigators back to Ian Huntley, who was quickly becoming the prime suspect. As police reviewed Huntley's statements, they found inconsistencies in his timeline. Furthermore, they discovered his criminal history, which had been hidden from his current employers. Huntley's troubling past included multiple allegations of sexual offenses, but none had led to a conviction. With each new piece of evidence, it became clear that Huntley was not as innocent as he had claimed. The investigation now began to zero in on him as a potential suspect in the disappearance of Holly and Jessica. The discovery nearly 2 weeks after Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman vanished, hope was beginning to fade. The search efforts had stretched across miles, with thousands of people looking for any trace of the girls. Then, on August 17, 2002, a devastating discovery was made by a member of the public. In a thick woodland area near airbase at Lakenheath, approximately 12 miles from Soham, 2 small, decomposing bodies were found side by side. Though the bodies had been badly decomposed, the evidence quickly confirmed the identities of the victims. DNA tests confirmed that the bodies were those of Holly and Jessica. The discovery marked the tragic end to the search, closing the door on the hope that the girls might have been alive. The news sent shockwaves through the nation. The bodies had been burned in an apparent attempt to destroy evidence, but forensics still provided crucial links to the suspects. Traces of brick dust and concrete found on Ian Huntley's car matched the area where the girls' bodies were found, further implicating him. The discovery of the girls' remains not only confirmed their deaths, but also revealed the horrifying reality of their fate. Leading to the next phase of the investigation, the search for the truth behind their tragic end. The trial of Ian Huntley and Maxine Carr began in November 2003, nearly a year after the brutal murders of Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman. Huntley faced charges of 2 counts of murder, while Carr was charged with perverting the course of justice and assisting an offender. The courtroom was filled with tension as the prosecution laid out a damning case against the couple. Huntley initially testified, claiming that the deaths of Holly and Jessica were accidental. He stated that Holly had slipped and fallen into the bath, and in a panic, he smothered Jessica to silence her screams. However, the prosecution rejected his defense as an elaborate lie. They argued that the murders were premeditated, driven by a sexual motive, and that Huntley's narrative was an attempt to manipulate the court and avoid full responsibility. Maxine Carr, on the other hand, claimed she lied to protect Ian, stating that she had been unaware of the full extent of the crimes. But her story fell apart when it was revealed that she had falsified her alibi and lied about being with Ian at the time of the girls' disappearance. The prosecution described both Huntley and Carr as manipulative and calculating, driven by a desire to cover up their crimes. After a lengthy trial, the jury found Ian Huntley guilty of both murders. He was sentenced to 2 terms of life imprisonment, with a minimum of 40 years to be served before being considered for parole. Maxine Carr was sentenced to 3.5 years for perverting the course of justice, but was released under a new identity after serving just a fraction of her sentence. The trial brought a sense of justice for Holly and Jessica, though the scars left on their families and the community remained. The case also led to a public inquiry into child protection policies, as the failures that allowed Huntley to gain employment as a school caretaker were exposed. The tragic case of Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman still haunts many, and justice was served, but the questions remain. What drove Ian Huntley to commit such a heinous act? Do you think justice was truly served in this case? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't miss our next video, Who Killed Alistair Wilson? The mysterious front door shooting coming soon! Subscribe now!